And we're singing. We're singing. Dun, 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 dun. Time to talk. Beauty and the Bitch.
Morgan.
Oh, hey, Mickey.
Hey, girl. Okay, so look, real talk before we get started with this.
Okay.
I know I was supposed to come up with an intro for Aladdin, but I love the original so much that I'm like super biased. I can't even like get out of my super fan. I'm like the number one fan ever of the original animated Aladdin, you know?
So when I hear you say this word, it feels like, is that like Paula Dean's daughter? Like, who are you talking about right now when you say those words?
Okay, well, first of all, Aladdin is a very like well-known historical figure, and I think he founded Saudi Arabia.
It feels like we're like for sure not on the same page about this episode today.
What? This is our episode where we talk about Middle Eastern history and politics.
Right.
And I talk about Aladdin, my favorite animated movie of all time.
This is really
Who is
embarrassing.
not related to Paula Deen. You should be embarrassed.
Do you mean Aladdin?
I don't know what you're saying. What?
Aladdin.
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 Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, shit. No. Well, we better regroup.
Yeah, okay. Well, welcome back to another episode of Beauty and the Bitch. I'm Aladdin.
And I'm Jasmine.
Oh, I would have definitely thought you would go for Paula Deen, but maybe that's too on the nose. I get it.
I do love butter. Let's be clear.
You once got hit in the head with a frozen turkey, too. I've told you about that, right? When Paula Deen gets hit in the head with a frozen turkey.
You did, but for a second I was like, did that really happen to me?
No, could have.
It's too real.
It may be a frozen chicken, to be honest.
Well, which is fair.
Some kind of frozen poultry.
Always.
Just in case anyone has never heard that, you should YouTube that shit. Just YouTube Paula Deen hit in head. She's at a food drive, and they're like a team of people throwing frozen turkeys, one person to another. And it's so funny because she's like leaned over to like put something on the truck, and someone throws a turkey without looking, and it hits her in the head, and someone goes, Paula!
That's so wonderful. That's wonderful.
And that's why she's racist, because she got that head trauma.
You know, before that, she was an angel.
She was a complete
Bless
angel.
her heart.
Oh, butter.
You know who is not a complete fucking angel?
Who's that?
Aladdin.
No, well, he's a street rat.
He's a two-timing smuggly little motherfucker.
Whoa.
Coming up in here trying to play a bitch like she can't tell who is who.
Oh, so you're mad about the deception with Jasmine.
I think Jasmine should be more mad about the deception that is the deception.
But, I mean, it's factual that if he comes to her and he's like, I'm a street rat with nothing, like, she's not going to be interested in that. Like, he kind of has to lie, I think.
I see where you're coming from. And I don't disagree, but if you have to lie to the bitch to get the bitch to be interested and then, like, spring the truth on her and hope she sticks around, like, you're either wasting your time or you brainwashing this bitch.
That's true. Yeah. It's really a whole relationship built on a lie.
But you know, Disney's so magical. Such romance.
Well, I will tell you, I do think the original Aladdin, which came out in, do you happen to know?
The 90s.
Oh, I don't have my phone. I was going to do it.
I have one.
Okay,
I have
thanks,
one.
Queen. I thought I brought it in here. Somebody stole my phone. Everybody freeze.
That happens a lot.
There's no one in the room but me and Morgan, though. I don't know why you stole my phone, Morgan. Anyway, the original Aladdin is really magical and beautiful. And I don't know about you, but it's one of my top...
92.
92, okay. It's one of my top Disney movies. My top 5, for sure.
Easily. There was a time when, faced with the difficult question of, like, what is your favorite animated Disney film, when Aladdin would be the words that would come out of my mouth. Oh, yeah. Like, I think it's hard for me to pick a favorite anymore, but I think I could easily pick a top 5, and Aladdin would always make the cut. Mm-hmm. Always. Mm-hmm. Ooh, let's try to do that. Like, maybe what are your top 5 Disney cartoons?
Okay, so definitely Lion King's my number 1.
Oh, dang.
I love Lion
King. Going big.
Mm-hmm. Aladdin is in there. Little Mermaid's in there. It's hard for me to put the other 4 in order, but I know Lion King's number 1. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh.
I love that movie. It's so sad.
Underrated.
It is underrated.
Yeah.
And now fucking Notre Dame burned down, girl.
Yeah.
That's the only place you get to see Notre Dame is right there in that movie.
That's it. That's the only one.
That old rose window. And I've got one left. Is there something obvious I'm forgetting? Well, like Nightmare Before Christmas doesn't count. Are we counting that?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's a different kind of thing. I don't know. I don't like Sleeping Beauty, I'll tell you that.
I would say like maybe like insert like Toy Story as a classic sort of film.
I would say Mulan, actually. I love Mulan.
That's a great classic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very underrated also.
Oh, what about you?
I think you nailed it. I think a solid top 3 is like a Lion King, Aladdin, Little Mermaid combo. Mm-hmm. Like you can't have classic Disney without those 3 films.
And they all came out like around the same time, right?
Within, very early.
5 to
Little
10
Mermaid
years.
was very early, I think.
It?
Yeah, it was earlier than the other ones.
Oh, okay.
And then I do love like a Toy Story. I think a Toy Story is a great sort of thing. I'm really basic and I like a lot of the newer stuff. I think maybe like a Moana or maybe a Frozen could make the top 5.
See, I haven't even seen. I saw Moana. That's a lie. Moana was good, and over time that might age into my top 5.
And Moana has like a very like that sort of hero's journey that you get with Bilbo. It has like a very Lord of the Ringsy feel to it.
It totally does.
And I'm very into that.
Well, I would think that you would pick Lilo and Stitch because you look like Stitch.
Okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying is that I look like a weird alien person.
I'm saying that you pack a lot of power into a small package.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's really sweet.
And you have an underbite.
The truth of the matter is that I never saw Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, it's not one of my faves, but it is really good.
I just like never, it came out at like a weird time of my life where like I definitely wasn't going to see it in theaters and then Netflix didn't exist. So like what was I supposed to walk to Blockbuster? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Blockbuster.
I wasn't catching it. Wasn't
dated. You're dated. Yeah.
I did go to Hastings a lot when I was in college.
Oh yeah. That doesn't really exist anymore, does it? They go out of business?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Everyone I ever knew of closed down. Like all the locations.
I really liked Hastings. Yeah. So much nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe you can't go get Aladdin at Hastings, but
you will be able to watch it on the new Disney streaming service that's coming out soon.
I heard now I haven't looked up the pricing, but I heard tell that it's like really competitive pricing.
I heard it's like, I think somebody said it was like $7 a month or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I might have made that up. But I also heard it was competitive, and apparently they're like unlocking the Disney Vault, so you will be able to get like all Disney programming. So
Song of the South?
Girl, probably. Yeah, because
Disney
does this thing where they like lock their movies away like behind the vault, and they like do a DVD push and be like, get the Mary Poppins before it's locked away in the vault forever. Girl, they always bring that shit back.
Yeah.
But they do make it very hard for you to watch something that's been put in the vault because they don't make that shit streamable, you know? So this is huge for fans of like Disney and people with kids, I imagine. It's probably a great streaming service. And you'll be able to catch Aladdin on there. And
it'll have all the Star Wars too, right?
Yes. Yeah, and also Disney bought Fox. So I don't know if they're going to have all the Fox movie. I don't know what's going to be happening.
Disney is such a
conglomerate.
Great. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually read recently somewhere the granddaughter of Walt Disney. There are various things about Disney Corps right now that she is not a fan of, and she was speaking out against them in various ways.
Well, like what kind of stuff? Like their politics?
You know what,
their
Queen? I'm so sorry. I don't remember
or
exactly.
Like their films.
I think it's more about like the politics, or like and like you know what they decide to make and how they decide to make it viewable and all that kind of stuff. Though for all I fucking know, I mean, you know, I do a lot of drugs. It may have been something to do with the theme parks, but she's not happy is the point.
I think it must be so interesting to be a part of the Disney family because they are such a conglomerate. But I bet at this point, like most of the Disney family people that still exist are probably just figureheads.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like she's not like
there are other people running this company with their name on it.
I think, you know that guy who ran Disney during like the Nickelodeon days? No, not Walt. That later guy. His name was Creepy McSmiley Creep. I
Walt
don't know.
Jr.
Maybe no. He was outside the Disney family, I think.
Yeah, I don't know him. What
he was around the 90s. Nothing much, but I just thought he was creepy. Will Eisner? Is that a person?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna Google that name because I think that's
the people who run Disney like, I know nothing about them, who they are. They have never been a touch point in my life.
Well, it's crazy because they are so powerful, and it's, as you say, it's such a huge business.
It is.
Those are oh yeah, here he is, Michael Eisner. That's his name.
Is he still the guy?
I don't know because I'm showing you.
Yeah, he looks
I find
sleazy.
him creepy. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Actually, I'm not sure, but he could be.
How would you know? Maybe he's a dick.
He was the chairman and chief executive officer from 1984 to 2005.
Dang.
So a lot of our favorite movies came out under him. So I shouldn't, malign the man, but I just think he looks creepy. Ooh, look at that picture of him. He looks real creepy.
Oh, dang.
There. He looks like a peeled banana.
And Aladdin came out while he was on board, so a lot of classics hit the shelf. Lion King, certainly.
I'm so sorry to tell you this. It's pronounced Aladdin.
You're so my God. I am embarrassed.
I don't even understand how you could make such a stupid mistake.
I am just a woman, though. It's really interesting to also talk about how Aladdin the cartoon and The Lion King are both classics, because they are, and also because right now we're getting a remake of both of these things, which is something that nobody asked for.
No, just like the Dumbo remake we were talking about earlier.
Nobody asked for that.
Back. Didn't nobody say, ooh, you know what I really want? To see a sad Dumbo painted in makeup.
Well, and that one's interesting too, because that's like some version of a sequel at the very least. Like, they're taking something and building on it in a new medium, even though we didn't ask for it. But this is literally Aladdin. They're taking the story of Aladdin that we know and love, and they're going to probably infuse it with some modern pop culture. And they have recast all of our beloved characters, and they're packaging it up with a nice bow and being like, look at these real people.
The animals probably aren't going to talk, like Iago and stuff. You know how
Iago's not going to talk?
I know. Yeah, he's
well,
just
Gilbert Gottfried's not available?
No.
That is ridiculous.
I think that Gilbert Gottfried might be an immortal. Like, I think maybe that's what vampires really look and sound like, and that's how they've flown under the radar.
I think that checks out.
Like, he's definitely a vampire or something. Or maybe like a ghoul. I don't know. That man ain't human.
There's something weird with him. That's a really weird choice, because I feel like Iago is maybe the only animal that talks in that film. Yeah. And he's also really central to, like, Jafar. And I feel like we really need him.
Well, they're giving Jafar a new henchman. Did I write it down?
Are you serious right now?
Well, actually, I think he's in the animated movie, but he's like a bit character. He's like Captain of the Guard. And that's going to be Jafar's, like, second-hand man. And Iago's just going to be a parrot, I think.
Wow. So, like, people just have to rely on other people and not their parrots? What kind of fantasy is this?
Well, okay. Actually, that gets to the heart of why I'm not so excited about this remake. It's kind of weird, maybe, but to me, Aladdin, the animated Aladdin, part of the joy of that was how vibrant and beautiful the movie is. Now, I know that's animation, but look, girl, we've seen, you can pop up color in any movie.
You can.
Right? And the trailer that I saw, which I know we're going to get into it because there's a lot to talk about in that trailer for this movie, but the color was not vivid. I mean, like, people wear, like, pretty pink. Like, Princess Jasmine has some gorgeous, like, bright outfits. It's pretty
muted, though.
But overall, it's very muted. And I was like, girl, do not give me a muted Aladdin. What is wrong with you?
Girl, they blew their color budget on that one shot of Will Smith being a genie.
Oh, my Jesus. They blew their wad, and that's what they got?
And that's it.
I'd say abort that baby, honey.
It's like, it's always precarious to compare, like, past roles with, like, people who are filling the shoes now, but, like, oh my God, what giant shoes to fill of a Robin Williams. And you know what's crazy is The Lion King had a similar problem. You know, they had really big shoes to fill for the role of Mufasa, formerly voiced by James Earl Jones. So you know what they did? They just got James Earl Jones again. Yeah. And it's just like the choices they make are so inconsistent.
Well, I mean, of course they couldn't get.
Because he's dead.
Yeah. Sadly.
But there are, like, it does not compute. And I feel like they're resting a lot on how much people love Will Smith. And, like, Will Smith is not the same person. He doesn't have the same level of star hype that he used to have. And, like, we don't look at him the same. Like, maybe I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago when Will Smith was still in his goofy phase, we could have been like, oh, Will Smith's the genie. But we endured a decade of Will Smith trying to win an Oscar, and now they're trying to tell us he's the genie again?
It doesn't work.
It's
bad casting. So, okay, so we're going to go deep into that. In fact, probably most of the rest of this episode is us going to be talking about Will Smith. Because, frankly, that's what everyone's talking about from the trailer.
Well, yeah, because it's the one that... he looks ridiculous.
So the first trailer, the like teaser trailer that came out, everyone was like, "This cannot be." Like he looked, it was like a nightmare. It was so bad. Yeah. It was like Will Smith's face on like a blue Gumby or something. It was horrible. It looks better in the newer trailer.
I can agree with that.
It still doesn't look great, and I still think he's miscast in that role. But we noticed because we were watching the trailer last night that. A lot of the time, he's not even blue. He's just himself, right. Which I like much better.
Yeah,
because I think you've hit on it. It's like, what's his name? Who played Genie before? Oh,
Robin Williams.
Thank you. All I could think was Will Robinson.
Close.
What an idiot I am. Robin Williams, his whole shtick was like, I can do all these impressions, right? And I'm like frenetic energy. And so they leaned into that. But with Will Smith, what Will Smith does is Will Smith.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're leaning into that with Will Smith. I'm not saying I think it's going to fail, but I think it's going to fail.
And I want to like it, except for, number one, the fact where my statement that, like, we didn't ask for it. Like, it feels... It's like that same problem that, like, Hollywood everywhere has, where it's like they have no new ideas, so they just take old ideas and, like, repackage them. And, like, I'm just not excited about that as, like, a concept. And then additionally, a lot of stuff looks fake or, like, cheap. It looks like cheaply made to me.
Yeah, I saw someone online or on YouTube somewhere said that Will Smith. Have you heard of Will Smith? Will Smith looks like if you tried to make a genie in The Sims 4. That's essentially like what he looks like when he's blue. And I was like, yeah, girl, you're right. It looks like fucking Sims 4 animation.
That's hilarious.
Horrible. It's horrible. But there are some other changes. There are some changes that I think may make it better.
Okay, some positive things.
A few things. So, first of all, there is a completely new character named Dahlia, who's the handmaiden to Jasmine.
Okay.
So, like, in the animated version, essentially, Raja? Is that her tiger?
Raja, yeah.
That's, like, her confidant.
Yeah.
And, like, Raja doesn't talk back, right? But Raja obviously understands her. Mm-hmm. In this movie, Raja's just going to be a tiger, I think, as we were talking about.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, tigers be tigers, except for Tony the Tiger, because he's great. He is great. But Dahlia is going to really become that, like, confidant and probably going to help her escape.
Okay, she's got a friend. I feel that.
And I'm into that.
Yeah.
And Jasmine, they wrote a new song for Jasmine. She's going to have her own song.
Her own song? But she's just a woman.
Yeah, she's a brown woman at that.
Fascinating.
The world's in an uproar. Right? So I think that will be good.
What if they just give her one of Mulan's songs from Mulan?
Oh my god.
They're like, it's the same. We don't know. We're all white.
Who is this girl I see? But she'll be looking into a bowl of sand.
And it's also Mulan's reflection. She's like, but really, y'all, who?
Girl. White people be so racist. They don't even mean to be. There is, speaking of white people, there is a white character in this remake. Did you know that? Well, there may be white actors, but
oh, sure, they're definitely going to whitewash some of these roles.
Oh, I'm sure. Prince Anders, who's I forget the name, but he's like a prince who's also vying for Jasmine's hand in the animated thing. Prince something or other. Prince Anders is like the new that guy vying for Jasmine's hand against Aladdin, and he's very white. And my question with that is, why? Like, I mean, white people dominate all the other Disney... Not all the other Disney movies, but many of them. Especially the classic ones, obviously. There are essentially no brown people. Why can't we just have an all-brown Disney movie? I just don't understand why there has to be a white suitor. I'm sure they're going to justify it, but I'm like, girl, why? This is so unnecessary.
I can't see, like, how they're going to justify it. Like, they'll definitely make up some bullshit, but... Yeah, I agree that seems unnecessary.
Do you think it's just so white people won't be like, there wasn't no white person?
Well, the thing you have to know about white people is, like, they're very fragile. They're very fragile. Like, it was such a big deal. Like, Crazy Rich Asians was like, it's an all Asian American cast. and or also just Asian, a lot of Asian Americans too. But like white people were like confused about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, Morgan was confused too. See, you're choking on your hate, Morgan.
I swallowed my spit. I have no hate, and I think that you're right. They did it for the snowflakes.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, that's one of those things like, stuff that white people say, I'm really guilty of saying like, you have to roll me out of this restaurant. That's a thing. That's a thing white people say. Or like when the food takes a long time to get to you, you're like, they must be killing the chicken back there.
What even are you talking
about? White people say that.
Well, they will now. You're literally said
that. Well, I'm just saying. This is another thing. White people like, there's no white person in this movie. I guess not for me then. Yeah. No, girl. Go watch, Queen Latifah TV show, Girlfriends. Living Single. Go watch Living Single for a while. You don't need to see no white person on screen to empathize with the characters, you silly fools.
Better to not have them sometimes.
Yeah. White people be everywhere.
Yeah, and literally everywhere.
Well, and that's the thing is, frankly, we're used to being everywhere. And so white people get real in their feelings when there's one fucking movie where they're not... Exactly. Snowflakes. I just don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I just don't have time for it. They're yellow snowflakes. Oh, that sounded racist. I meant like pee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like you want to pee on them.
I would. I'll pee on a white racist.
Golden showers.
Yes.
I love it.
Where did this conversation go?
Oh, we were talking about Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Yeah, so there have been some new casting choices, adding in new characters like you were talking about. Do you have any other insights on new changes or additions we might expect?
Did you hear me just get excited and snort like a dog?
Well, you are 72 years old now.
I guess I am. That was so weird. It kind of hurt, too. It's being directed by Guy Ritchie.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting.
Very interesting.
It's a strange choice. So Guy Ritchie's known for a few things. One, he's known for monochromatic movies, which again is why the color is, or not monochromatic, but like muted.
And didn't he fuck Madonna?
He's Madonna's.
That's what I know him from.
Of some sort. He directed that King Arthur remake. Oh, when did that come out?
Like the newer one?
It was pretty new, and it was panned really hard. He does a lot of like crime TV shows too, and he's really known directorially, style-wise, for his like really quick, fast cuts, which is not necessary for Aladdin. So a lot of people who know a lot about directors are like, "Girl, is he gonna be like quack 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 all over?" Where's it? Agrabah. Like we don't need that. You know what I mean? And he's also known for, like I said, the drab setting, but he directed the Sherlock Holmes that came out in 2009.
Robert Downey?
I think so. It was Oscar nom.
Interesting.
Yeah. But like, those are very different. I just don't. I think he's a strange choice.
I think he's a very strange choice. Yeah.
I mean, they did ask me if I want to direct it, but I was like, girl, I'm busy. I got the podcast. I like to poop on a schedule.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who's got the time?
I mean, really.
Yeah, you would think they would choose somebody with like softer edges for like essentially a children's film. Like, I mean, people our age, like, this is a nostalgia flick, so there's going to be plenty of people that are older checking this out, but, like, also at its heart, it's still a children's film, don't you think?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It should be. I mean, if they're going to fucking Dark Knight this motherfucker, they need to make it a lot more obvious, you know?
That's hilarious.
I mean, I think you could that's actually a really interesting
Jafar
point.
could have his own, like, deep Joker dive. Like, he's got a dark past.
Oh, he sure does.
He's a dark one.
Yeah, he is. That was racist. And... No, but there's a lot of... I mean, all Disney movies have a lot of darkness in them. Yeah. But Aladdin especially is pretty murderous, you know? So, the movie, I mean, not the character... So that would be interesting. I kind of wish they had done like an adult Aladdin, but I mean, Disney, why would they want to do that, I guess?
That's fascinating. I feel like we as a culture are fixated on like the darker side of like things that are sort of light on the surface, but like underneath are dark. Recently there was trending, somebody created a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like teaser trailer for like, if that was a real life situation and like a kid who was born and raised in West Philadelphia who like got into some trouble in their neighborhood is like guns and like fist fighting and like the cops being called and like all of that like very real, very dark shit going down, and like a mother sending her child away to try to save him from that to like a place that's like rich and fanciful where he is like barely a guest in the house of like an uncle that does not want him there, that's like, you will play by my rules, thrown into a school full of like white people when he had like never known these like cardigan wearing like snowflakes, and like how hard that would be. And then finding one friend, Jazzy,
Jazz,
who also was from Philadelphia, that you could commiserate with, who really wasn't welcome in the home where you also weren't welcome. Like, that teaser trailer, people were like, oh, damn. Fresh Prince is dark.
Well, you know, every once in a while, Fresh Prince would go dark. Do you remember that episode where Will's father comes back into the picture?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my God.
I don't.
So
Maybe I
sad.
marked that one out of my heart.
Probably. I literally just got full body chills. Like, I have goosebumps. There's a part where it's like his dad is like, you know, his dad shows up at the beginning, and Uncle Phil's like, I don't trust him. And Will's like, he's my dad, man. Leave him alone. Except he doesn't sound like a 31-year-old white fag.
You know.
And, you know, I mean, you know, we're all different. And then, of course, his dad, near the end of the episode, his dad's like, we're going on a road trip. And he never shows up to pick Will up.
So sad.
And
it's too real.
I mean, we know that Will Smith can act, but at that point, we weren't
sure.
He was a rapper. He had an album put out, and he was on Fresh Prince. That was really his claim to fame. And that, you know, he acts in that, but it's mostly comedic.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the line that always makes me cry is, I think it's, why don't he want me, man? And then he starts to cry, and Uncle Phil
that feels very familiar.
Oh my God, I might cry right now. It's so powerful. So it might sound like we're hating on Will Smith. I don't hate Will Smith at all. I wish he would pick better projects, and I wish he wasn't cast as the genie.
I think everyone can agree Will Smith is an icon, and he's done just some fantastic
and
work
he's extremely fuckable, and has been fuckable since the day he came on TV. He's just as fuckable now as he was then. Yeah.
But it feels like, you know, who used to have a similar career trajectory is somebody like a Johnny Depp. And at some point, Mr. Depp started just taking bad role after bad role, like forcing himself into like money grabs, and like also his life was a hot mess and in turmoil, and like that's his own goddamn fault, but like things just started falling apart very quickly, and like we don't want to see Will Smith doing that. And I totally agree that like him with this weird ass genie ponytail feels a little bit like that to me.
It feels like a cash grab. We were watching, there was some other trailer. What was that horrible movie full of famous people? The trailer we were watching last night. It had Dark from Green Arrow in it. He played a police chief. Oh, Sonic!
Oh, Lord.
There are a bajillion famous people in that movie, and girl, why?
Is trash.
How did they must have had a magnificent budget. That's the only way those people would agree to be in that trash fire.
And they'd spent none of it on the Sonic part of that movie.
No.
That was like the worst trailer I've seen in like, I don't know how, like, that was garbage.
I'll tell you what, Sonic needs to get away from me with those chiclet ass teeth. I can't, the teeth are the worst part something about those teeth need to go away.
I saw this thing on Reddit today, so in that trailer, quick side tangent, Sonic like sets off a blast and like shuts down the power grid for like the whole Pacific Northwest, and this person on Reddit was like talking about the birth population of the Pacific Northwest and did like a thing going down and was like, so by the math of this and the amount of hospitals and NICUs that will be out of power and out of life support for infants, basically Sonic killed millions of babies.
Yeah.
In like one fell swoop.
Yeah, I think
murderer of babies.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, this is that movie. Look, that's an even lower rung than Aladdin. I don't even
think like several rungs down.
We haven't really decided. We might end up doing an episode on it just so we can just talk shit about it, because looks like utter trash. But it's got fucking Jim Carrey is in it playing Dr. Robotnik. Is that his name?
Sure, the villain, yeah.
And like, I'm like, really, Jim Carrey? You came back to like movie screens in this trash?
It's very confusing. Yeah, by comparison to that, Aladdin's going to be great.
It looks great in comparison.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that emoticon movie exists. What's that?
Emoji movie.
Emoji movie, yeah.
That didn't do well at all.
Well, why should it? You know? I mean, it's trash. Really? We're so out of ideas.
I think we're so hard on Aladdin because we love it, though.
Well, it's got a lot to live up to.
It's got a
Yes.
Really big shoes to fill.
Yes.
Do you think it's possible that you're going to end up liking this film even after talking trash about it?
I think it's possible.
I think it's totally possible.
I think it is unlikely, but I don't think it's impossible because all the original music's still in there, plus some additions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually not fans of like any of the actors. I don't know any of them.
Sure, most of them are new.
New to us anyway.
Yeah,
new to us. I mean, I'm sure they've done things internationally, but not stuff that I've seen. But I'm always excited for essentially a whole cast of people I don't know, because you never know who you might find.
Could be some happy surprises.
I just hope, I say this a lot, I guess it matters a lot to me. I just hope it's beautiful, visually appealing. I was saying that, like, remember, like, Aquaman, I was like, I know it's not going to be good, but just let it be beautiful. You know?
Yes.
And that's, like, my lowest bar for Aladdin. If it's not even beautiful, then I'm pissed.
Girl, yes, what's the point?
Yeah. Speaking of high bar, I have a very short game of true false about the original Aladdin.
Okay.
Now, Morgan, did you peek at these answers already?
I didn't, but
because everybody knows you have a propensity to peek at answers.
Yes, I'm a peeker.
You're a peeker.
I'm a peeker.
Oh, that might be racist. I don't think you should say that anymore.
I think it's more like what's it called when like you look at people and they're naked and you shouldn't?
What?
It's more like that.
Like perv? Like
yes,
pervin?
Pervert. It's more pervy.
Oh, more pervy than peaky? I'm very confused.
It's more pervy than racist.
We've all decided you're a pervert and a racist. Moving on.
Well, I won't stand by that, but I will move on.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah. Stand up, girl. Don't let this crazy homosexual say things like that to you. Okay, number 1. Robin Williams' Genie performance includes impersonations of Arsenio Hall, Ed Sullivan, and Jack Nicholson. True or false?
True.
That is true.
I can't remember the Arsenio one, but I can remember the other two.
It's very short.
As it should be.
Yeah, Arsenio Hall. Who gives a shit? Was he in Coming to America? Is that Arsenio Hall?
Yeah.
I did not like him in that movie.
I liked everything about Coming to America.
Oh, that's a great movie. Don't get me wrong.
James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Murphy before we realized he's kind of gross.
Well, it was still in his good phase.
Yeah, he was still doing amazing shit. Yeah. But anyway, I think Arsenio Hall's a letdown.
You know Eddie Murphy has a baby with Scary Spice?
Yeah, that's why I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was talking about, because he got her pregnant and tried to pretend he wasn't the daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Mm-hmm. When
Don't
that baby
you do that to my Scary Spice.
Looking like Dr. Doolittle, wearing a little jacket, talking to animals. Come on, Eddie Murphy.
And then he started doing fucking Christmas with the Cranks or whatever. Crumps?
The Clumps.
The Clumps, yeah.
Christmas with the Clumps.
Was that a different movie?
Christmas with the Cranks is like a Tim Allen film.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. That's
But the
different.
Clumps.
Yeah, the
Clumps
Clumps.
series.
Yeah, where he plays all the different characters. Yeah, go on.
I liked
with
the first one because I was young and stupid, and then 7 more of them were made.
I do remember, there's a line in that where he's playing the grandma, and as the grandma, he's like, ooh, I was cooking yesterday, and I got a sharp pain in my chest, and then I looked down, I was standing on my titty. I remember I laughed really hard at that. That's literally the only time I laughed in that entire movie. Anyway, this is not about Eddie Murphy. Ed Sullivan is like an old TV personality.
Yeah, he was like, wasn't he like
okay.
the TV personality?
Girl, I'm not gonna front with you. Like, I looked it up and I was like, oh, TV person. I don't know.
He was
I don't
like
know
a
the
big
man.
deal, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just much too young. But you were like, what, 14 when he was on air?
Uh-huh.
You're old. Okay.
Like, didn't the Beatles premiere in America on the Ed Sullivan Show? I think they did.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at you, history.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, number 2. Good teenagers take off their clothes is a phrase that Aladdin whispers to Raja the tiger right before they hop on the flying carpet.
False. The bee whispers it. A genie bee.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay, so it is false. Suppose that, okay, so we're thinking of 2 different things, or maybe I'm confused, because Aladdin says, good tiger, take off and go.
Oh.
You might be thinking of some other
I'm thinking of the other
message.
sex subliminal
I didn't even know
thing.
there was another one in there.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
never heard the other one. Do you remember what he's supposed to say? I can look it up.
Yeah, let's pause it for a second, because I think
Okay.
the subliminal stuff is fascinating.
Okay.
Okay, look, the internet is vast and deep.
Yeah.
So we researched for 2.5 minutes, and what we discovered is what Mick said about the tiger.
But you know what? First of all, in the Okay, so supposedly it's false, but that did exist in the earlier versions, and then they deleted that line from later versions.
Did they?
Yeah, because they were like, people are just freaking out about this, and it's too much.
Yeah, because they did put subliminal message, and that's why they did take it out, because we noticed, because we the people are smart.
Yes, that's why we voted Trump into the presidency.
Oh my God, we're trash
the
people.
Geniuses. But yeah, so he says, it does sound like, even though when we were just listening to it, like, slowed down, and it almost sounds like something like backwards. You know how people play records backwards and be like, it's the devil music or whatever.
Totally, yeah.
Even though it's just played frontwards, even at normal speed, it sounds weird. So I can see why people thought there was something crazy going on, but technically that is false. However, good teenagers do take off their clothes.
That was my experience.
I mean, from time to time to shower at least.
I mean, you have to.
Because teens be stinky.
Yes, girl, buy deodorant.
Sweet teens.
Talk to your kids.
You can't live like this.
They need to know.
They do need to know. I can't stand stank teenagers.
All right, next question.
Okay, number 3. Aladdin originally had a father in the script.
Oh, I'm going to go with no.
It is false, but he did have a mother originally.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There is actually, there's a whole song about it called Proud of Your Boy, I think. And it was cut from the movie, as was the mom altogether, but it's in the musical.
Interesting. What role does she play? Is she like, I'm glad you broke into the Cave of Wonders and stole some shit, and now you have a genie and you're going to be rich?
Well, I think...
Which one was she proud of?
Well, no, he sings it to her, like, I'll make you proud, Mom.
Oh,
because she's, like, kind of,
He didn't do a great job.
Well, why not? He ends up marrying the princess.
I guess if that's a measure of success, then you're right.
And Agrabah it is, Queen. What else he gonna do? Make bread?
Maybe.
Become a captain? Wear a turban? Nah, he's too free for that.
I wouldn't be a captain. That sounds hard.
It does
too
sound
much
difficult.
work.
Those swords are so shiny. No, but I don't know. But the song goes like this. I'll make you proud of me, mama. Just like that.
Verbatim.
Yep, I've heard the song. I've listened to it. I haven't.
It's a really good rendition.
I haven't.
I loved it.
I fooled you, though. It was so good. Okay, number 4. True or false? The line where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face was originally part of Arabian Nights. True or false?
True.
That is true. But people were like, that's racist. Girl, you can't say that.
It's racist to not like someone's face?
No, it's racist to say of I guess, Middle Eastern. Do we know what country this is besides Agrabah? Okay, we don't. Okay, at least we don't, me and you. But it's racist to say of Middle Eastern people. Like, they'll cut off your ear if they don't like your face. Even though historically, yes, they did do that. But it's fine. Well, maybe not if they didn't like your face.
Of them as a people, that's a practice they do.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Even though historically that was true. But I mean, they'd do worse than that to you in England. So, they'd rape you to death, probably.
You know, it's always so violent to see in film or television, scalping.
Oh, that's so frightening.
Which is a very real thing that happened, you know? Horrifying.
Yeah, because you could still be alive after you get scalped. Sometimes people live through it.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So when did you get scalped?
This is a wig.
Obviously.
I have alopecia.
Oh, I'm so sorry I made fun of it.
Aw, I don't. And it's not a wig.
No, and we shouldn't make fun of it.
It just looks so pretty.
Now you're the bad person. No, they replaced that line with when it's flat and intense and the heat is immense. Do you know that part from Arabian Nights? Where it's flat and intense and the heat is immense. It's like they do the desert pan.
You just did a great job of recapping that.
Thank you so much. I tried.
So instead, that line used to be the other thing. Interesting. It doesn't even have the same vibe.
No, it's very different. No. And it's also weird to try where they cut off your ear if they don't like it. It just doesn't fit as well. So I'm glad they replaced it. Besides the fact that it offended people.
Yeah.
That's all I got, Queen, about that. But you got them all right.
Wow. She's a winner.
It's true. Except, no, I'm going to take a point off because you thought the B said that.
She had all the money in the world. She doesn't need your bitchy points.
Wow.
I'm rich. I'm Jasmine.
1, that didn't rhyme. 2, that's the wrong musical. 3, you're poor.
Can we talk about Jafar?
Of course.
Jafar's the unsung hero of the Aladdin story.
Okay, interesting. Please explain. He seems like a rapist to me, but okay.
Super rapey.
Yeah,
oh my god, he's
rapey.
So creepy. There's a scene in the cartoon where he forces Jasmine to wear a sexy red outfit, puts her hair up in a high pony Ariana Grande style, slaps some cuffs on her wrist, puts an apple in her hand, rips her close to him so he can bite it, and the food flies on her face.
So gross.
It's so gross. It's very heightened sexual tension. He's obviously trying to make her a sex slave. It ain't right. But Jafar is an excellent villain.
Yeah.
He is an excellent villain.
Okay. Marry, fuck, kill. I'm just thinking of this right now. Okay. Jafar, Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame, also rapist type energies, and Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, because they both turn into snakes. That's why.
Okay, we're gonna kill your Hunchback of Notre Dame boy.
Yeah,
like, he's not even in the mix.
Though technically, of the three, if he had a different personality, he's not.
Yeah,
bad
maybe.
Looking, really, but
it's hard. Well, Maleficent looks like she's got something good going on under
That's
her little
true.
horn situation.
That's true.
Okay, so I'm left with a Maleficent and a Jafar. And
which one are you gonna fuck and which one are you gonna marry?
One.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I guess I'm gonna fuck Jafar because I think he's very grimy. Like, I'm just like not into him, and he's quite rapey.
He is very rapey.
So maybe one and done, and then Maleficent would be an awful wife, a terrible partner, but she might buy me nice things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she'll take from the poor and give to the me because I'm her wife.
Sure. I think she would. Yeah.
And she has, like, magical powers. Yes, I stand by this choice. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I would totally marry her because even if I just become an assistant and she just uses the shit on me, I would love to serve a witch. I mean, or like a dark fairy, I guess.
Yeah, we're probably like a nice, like, castle with, like, black candles.
Oh, yeah. I'm into that. Yeah. Yes. And I would actually fuck Frollo because, you know, those repressed religious people? Girl, you know, they get weird, man. They go hard. And I feel like Frollo would just fuck himself to death.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. So maybe he would die.
And you're killing
And then I really kill two with one stone.
Oh, well, there you go. And that's the ultimate goal.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that's what I would do. But yeah, we're both married.
I think that makes sense. Yeah. But I think Jafar is just such a great villain. Like, he brings so much out in the characters, and he brings so much to the stories. And also, the Sultan is such an incompetent leader.
True villain of the movie, actually, is the sweet-faced Sultan. Yeah.
What does he say? Polly want a cracker? And he's just shoving crackers in the parrot's mouth.
Animal abuse.
Like, bitch, you need to go rule a kingdom.
Doesn't he, like, play with toys all day? Or doesn't he have, like, toys or something?
He has, like, a menagerie. And he tries to keep Jasmine all locked up.
It's just...
He's real messed up.
Like, he's real fucked up.
Yeah,
people never talk about how fucking evil he is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, he seems sweet, but he's not, really. He's selfish and privileged. Like some people I know.
Oh, Donald Trump?
You. Yeah, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump. Ooh, gross.
Yeah, that's the life we live.
Uh-huh.
What else do you like about Aladdin? Or, like, what is the draw? What are you excited for?
Well...
What's the deal?
I mean, with the original animated... I mean, I know I'm probably saying the obvious, but, well, actually, I was going to say Robin Williams. That's the draw to me. That's the biggest draw of the original.
Classic.
But also, Aladdin is one of the most fuckable Disney princes, I think.
Very
or Disney
sexy.
Protagonist.
Very
so
sexy.
Hot. I do not think, no offense to, what's his name? The guy playing Aladdin in this movie. No offense to this gentleman, but I'm sorry. I would fuck the cartoon girl. I'm so sorry.
It's a lot to live up to. Oh, I will say, in a couple of the teasers we saw, they were trying to bring it with the Jasmine fashion because Jasmine was a fashion icon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the giant, like, ringlets and gold holding her beautiful ponytails together, her little beautiful headpieces. That bitch looks good in turquoise. I mean, it's a lot to live up to, but I think that they're really trying with this actress, so I'm happy for her.
She looks stunning. Yeah, and she's well known in certain circles.
Oh, great.
His name is Mina Massoud. He's an Egyptian-Canadian actor.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, and by the way, you know what you saw here? Now, I had read None of the Animals Talk, but look who is doing Iago's voice, according to IMDb. Do you recognize him?
Oh, Alan Tudyk.
Yes, from fucking Firefly. 1,000 other things.
Yes,
that's why
he was the pirate in Dodgeball.
Oh my god, of course! I forget that. He was so good.
He's great in, like, all things.
So I guess Iago is talking. I'm sorry I lied.
Well,
bad information, I guess.
We will see what happens.
Let me see. I'm going to click on Naomi Scott, who's playing Jasmine, because she may have been something we know, because she's actually quite famous. Oh, she was Kimberly in the Power Rangers movie. Hello, Goodbye.
Dope. I actually watched that. It was like low-key bad, but I very much enjoyed it.
Oh, did you ever watch that show Terra Nova?
No.
It wasn't amazing, but she was in that. And something called The 33.
Sounds sci-fi.
Uh-huh. And a bunch of shit I never heard of.
Well, she's going to have a budding career because she's quite pretty.
I think so, too. Yeah, I hope she's talented, but frankly, we know it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
If you're beautiful, that's enough.
No, yeah.
That's how I got everything in my life.
Girl,
shut up.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we're not like the most excited for Aladdin, and we could kind of rip it to shreds for days just based on the teaser trailer, but I also think it's safe to say that like the likelihood we'll see it's pretty high, maybe if it streams on Netflix.
Yeah, I'll watch it eventually. I'm not opposed to it. Especially, actually, now that I know that Iago talks, it may sound silly, but that actually...
It changes things.
It really does, because I was like, well, because after Dumbo, I'm just expecting him to fuck up all the animals,
Girl.
you know? And which, again, I said on Dumbo, I'm so against that. Animals can still talk in the live-action versions of these movies. There's no reason why they shouldn't. That is
changes.
Like the point of Disney. One of the points is to have talking animals.
It's the only point.
And they're doing it in The Lion King, right?
Well, yes. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it'd be impossible to do The Lion King without the lions talking.
That's true.
Yeah.
And technically, Dumbo didn't really talk in the original. I mean, he said mother a few times. That's about it, right?
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll watch it, but it,
it's whatevs.
Like you said, Morgie, nobody asked for this shit.
Nobody asked for it.
Nobody asked for it.
No.
Do you have a plug this week?
Oh, do I?
Oh.
I can plug the 4th book and the that book series I've been reading. What's it called?
Oh my god, you're so sad.
Oh my god. It's the Red Queen series.
Oh.
And the 4th one is called War Storm. It just came out last year. It was like a YA bestseller. It's pretty good so far. I'm still into the series, 4 books deep, so I'll catch the next one when it comes out in a couple years. Yeah.
They're big, but not as big as Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, they're nowhere near as big as Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Well, because they're like a YA series, but they're on the 4th one, and they're well received. They do well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may have gotten confused with some. I saw some series where the books were like this thick.
They
like
are thick.
9 inches thick.
They are thick. Yeah. They're long. But, just
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
She sheds down by the seashore.
No.
Yeah, so
I've
check it
never
out. If
heard
y'all
that.
haven't read the Victoria Aveyard Red Queen series, I can definitely recommend that.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to recommend... Oh, there's a new show that's available on Hulu called Bless This Mess. Have you seen that show?
Not at all.
It stars... Oh, I was just thinking of his name earlier. It's about a couple who moves from New York to a tiny farm out in like Wyoming or something.
It's a fiction story?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's like a comedy.
Cute.
And Dax Shepard plays the guy.
I love him.
And his wife I also know, but I can't remember her name, so I'm going to look it up.
His real wife?
No. His fictional wife.
In real life, he's married to Kristen Bell.
Really?
Fuck Kristen Bell.
Fuck Kristen Bell. What is Dax Shepard known for? I know him, but I'm like, I don't know.
He was in Parenthood for like 6 or 7 seasons. He was one of the main characters. He was in the Galaxy, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? Wasn't he?
Was that him?
That space
I
guy.
can click on it. Let's see. He was also in... Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well, first off, real fast, his wife is Lake Bell. Do you know her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know her. She's cute.
Yeah, I know her from stuff. Pam Grier is in it.
Oh, love her.
And Ed Begley Jr., whose face I know.
I know his name. Yeah, he's familiar.
He's been in
totally
1,000
familiar.
things. He's been in 1,000 different things. Okay, wait. Let me
That's
see.
a pretty stellar cast. I'm very into that. It's streaming on Hulu.
It's streaming on Hulu, and it's quite funny, and it's very apropos for my life right now.
Yeah.
I'm literally
You
doing the
bless
same
your
thing.
little mess.
I know, bless my
Clean
mess.
it up.
Let's see. Parenthood, you said Without a Paddle. That's why I know Dax Shepard from. That's how I got
That's
to know
a silly movie.
It is silly. Oh, Zathura! He plays the astronaut, right? The grown-up astronaut. Isn't that Dax Shepard?
Sure. It's been a
think it is.
minute since I saw Zathura.
And Baby Mama.
Okay. Oh, yeah. He was Amy Poehler's boyfriend.
I think he's really sexy.
Yeah, I'm very into him.
Well, in that, like, white guy kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, I would fuck him. He's not, like, gorgeous, but I would have sex.
I like him. He's got a vibe.
Yeah. Well, he called me last week and he was like, can we finally fuck? And I was like, Dax Shepard, I'm attracted to you, but like, are you going to buy me a first class ticket? And he was like, yeah. So anyway, I flew out and fucked him.
Great. That was awesome.
Yeah. Fuck Kristen Bell. Am I right?
Fuck her!
So that's on Hulu. Y'all should check it out. Only 2 episodes out right now. It's
tight.
fresh.
So you guys have time to catch up. Awesome. Well, y'all be sure to check that shit out. Be sure to rate and review us wherever you are listening to this podcast right now. We recently looked at our analytics and learned there's a bunch of different people listening on a bunch of different platforms.
Shit,
I just assumed it was all on iTunes.
Yeah, I guess not. What was that? Apple
Core Media, which we hadn't looked into, but might just be if you listen to iTunes on like a PC product,
or like an Android.
Yeah. But we're really not sure.
We guess how many listeners we have in Russia. Listeners, guess right now. 14.
Yeah,
is that right?
Something like that.
14 bots in Russia listening.
Thank you to
us.
the robots everywhere streaming and downloading.
Or if there are real people in Russia, and also China, we had a few. If you're listening to this show, you probably are at least a feminist or maybe queer or at least artsy and open-minded. I just want you to know I am sorry you live in a country that's so repressive. America's not much better these days, but that's rough. There are good people everywhere, even in Russia and China.
Yeah, even in America. Don't let that Donald Trump bullshit fool you. We're still here somewhere.
Well, we're not good people.
We're dead inside, but we're here. We're here.
But we're not the worst.
So after you're done rating and reviewing us, also catch us on all the social media. You can find us at B&B Cast or just search out Beauty and the Bitch on whatever platform you are on.
YouTube's, Facebook's, Twitters, Instagrams, and WordPress.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
We love you, babies.
Bye, babies.
Bye.
When the
That's amore.
Wrong.
Do you have a home? Beauty and the Bitch.
You
look.
Beauty and the Bitch.
Beauty and the Bitch.
Beauty and the Bitch.